Hello, and welcome to Discussing Nothing. We've got something a little bit different here. We love the book They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. We use it a lot in what we do. So we decided we would do Aalyn Asks, They Answer, because Aalyn has some interesting questions about her introvertism, and we thought it'd be funny if we answered some of them. So, Aalyn, do you want to give us any context? You're just firing straight into the first question.
So I was thinking the other day, there's lots of questions that I have just on a regular basis that I would love to know the answer to. And I don't know if I'm the only person who thinks these questions, but I might not be. There might be someone else who thinks them. So they're in categories.
Okay.
The categories are hello, goodbye, social transitions, group discussions, eye contact, and then there's just other random. There's like one other one.
Right.
So we don't have to go through all of them because there's a lot.
Okay.
I haven't counted.
Right, maybe choose one or two from each category. Take it away.
So, firstly, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, do you say hello when you're the person walking into the room or if you're already in the room? So if someone walks into the room, who's the first person to say hello? Like, are you expected to say hello if you walk in? Or do you say hello if you're in the room already?
I don't think it really matters. Does it?
I think what we're about to establish is none of this matters.
I just like there to be rules in my head.
If I entered a room, I would probably be like, hello? Or, all right?
I guess it depends in what authority you're entering the room.
Yeah, that is true.
So like if someone came into this room who didn't know us and was like delivering a parcel, they would probably walk in and be like, and you'd be like, hello? And they would then be like,
but you would say, if you were in the room and it was someone you didn't know, you'd probably say hello to make it not awkward. If the guy's just standing there, open the door and he's just staring in, then you would be like, hello? So that to break that awkward silence.
Neeraj?
Hello?
Hello? you just right, Jordan's done a boo-boo. Teabag yourself.
My finger caught on the tea bag and I just teabagged myself.
But I think if any of us walk into this room, like we have authority in this room because it's our room. Mm-hmm. So I think you would walk in and be like, hello. So I think the context is important. I think if you belong there.
So if you walked into the room and I was sitting here,
I would start with a hello.
You would say hello.
Well, let's not include you in this because you're the one that doesn't know what to do. I think normal people, if they walked into the room, they would establish
our non-normal person.
Yeah,
so that's fine.
Like if someone who worked here that was normal walked in the room, they would say hello because they work here. You wouldn't say hello on the way in because you're too busy thinking about should I say it, and then you panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, depends on authority.
Okay.
I like that.
Next question.
So if you know them well, do you still say hello or do you just start up a conversation?
What,
is that a formal thing?
Walking into a room scenario? Or like?
Well, if you just see someone that you know.
On the street?
Or like say you're like in the same house or something and you like wake up in the morning and like you see someone, like do you say good morning or do you just start a conversation?
I'd probably be like, morning. Or like,
if you got something to start a conversation about, I guess you could just go right into it. But if you don't, then you just say, if I see my flatmates in the morning, there's no way I'm talking to them. So I just go, hey.
You wouldn't talk to them?
Not in the morning.
I don't either. I don't. If I'm in the same house as someone
I'm a very
that I
morning
know,
person.
like I don't really talk to them unless I have something to say to them. Like if I just saw them in the morning for the first time, I'd just basically ignore them unless I had something to say. But that's what I'm asking.
I would always
because I've got in trouble
hello.
before for being rude.
I'd always say hello. Unless I had like if I'd had a crazy dream, I'd be like, "Oh my goodness, you would not believe the dream I had."
Mm-hmm.
But I would 100% I would make sure I would acknowledge their existence.
Again, I think it goes back to it doesn't matter.
Well, let's establish none of this matters. And no one thinks about it except for Aalyn.
This is in my brain.
Yeah.
So welcome.
First time ever on this
it.
podcast discussing something that doesn't matter.
Believe it or not.
Wow.
Right.
New category?
New category. Goodbye. How do you say goodbye?
Kind of similar, but
How do you say goodbye without just leaving the room? Like, do you notify everyone that you're leaving?
Cartwheel out. Usually.
If you're at a gymnastics meet, you would cartwheel out.
Like, how do you just bring it up? Like, so I'm leaving.
Well, leaving
Do it
as in just
Like, how
leaving
do
the
you
room, like
just
going home for the day.
Yeah, like if you no, like say you were at like an event,
Right.
like a party or something.
Oh, okay.
How do you just say goodbye and leave? Like,
What
do you say?
usually go around people I know and be like, I'm just going, nice to see you. See you in a bit. Like, I wouldn't announce it to the room because it'd make me the centre of
so you
attention.
tell everybody.
I would probably go around a few people and be like, I'm just going, like,
Like
see you in a
the
bit.
key folk.
Yeah.
Like the party thrower.
Aye, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
See you in a bit.
Yeah. A few key
Couple
friends you
pals,
haven't
like-
seen in a while.
Yeah.
Like, oh, good to see you.
And then as I'm leaving, I'd probably be like, see ya, cheers.
But what if you're like in the middle of a conversation, but you want to leave?
I would wait till the conversation has reached a
Clear point.
clear conclusion or point and then be like, right, good to see ya, I'm away.
The word right.
So you say right.
The word right is
a
key.
really important.
Okay.
Right.
My usual one is right. If you're hearing
Yeah,
a,
you
if you're
do
hearing
that.
a right
Yeah,
from me,
yeah.
I'm leaving.
You're fed up.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
See you later. You're
I also
boring.
notice when you're not listening, you go,
Yeah.
You're really enthusiastically.
Yeah. You go, You do that. Yeah.
Hey, that's what Ashley says. Ashley on the phone to me will be like, Alex, you're not listening. And I'm like, what?
Who's not?
Yeah, you're on what?
So you say right. The
Yeah,
key
yeah, that
word
would
is
be like-
right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say.
What would you say?
I'm tired. I'm leaving.
You just say, I'm tired.
Well,
That's your advice.
I'd say I'd give some reason. I always feel like I have to give some reason. So usually I just go with I'm tired, whether that's true or not. Like
That would have been one of my other questions. Do you have to give actually, that is one of my questions. Do you have to give a reason for leaving?
I usually
I
do.
probably would as well, to be fair.
Be like,
I think
I'm
so.
up early, or
I'd probably be like, I'm up early tomorrow.
oh, you're really boring.
I think I notice people that don't give reasons. I've got a few people I can think of who are like,
Yeah, so-
okay, see ya. And you're like, they didn't give a, that's a weird.
Right, yeah, probably give
So
a
you're
reason.
expected to give a reason.
I think you're expecting to give a reason.
Doesn't always need
Right.
to be the truth.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Because the way I think about it is, if you don't give a because if someone doesn't give a reason to me, sometimes I'll be like, are they annoyed at me? Like, did I do something?
Yeah.
So I don't want other people to feel like that unless they have, and I do want them to feel like that. But I don't do that. I wouldn't do that because I wouldn't speak to them in the first place.
Wouldn't be at your house party.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't. No, at their house party.
Their house party.
And
sorry.
I don't at my house party. I don't go. All right, I'm off.
Yeah, that's true.
See you guys. Enjoy.
Well, that's one way to get everyone out of the house.
Yeah.
It's like, right, everyone, thanks for coming. See you. Right, everyone. See, I start with right again.
right.
yeah,
Okay. So the key word is right.
Keyword is right.
Good. See, I'm learning stuff already.
is great.
This
This is very
This
useful. I'm
is
going to watch this
beneficial.
back and like.
Yeah, write a wee essay on that or something.
My next category is group discussions, like the one we're having now.
Bravo.
Except this is a bit of a weird one because normally we wouldn't have a discussion like this. But my question is,
Most people don't film their discussions and then put them out on YouTube. And
my question is, when you're talking to a group of people, how do you know that what you're saying is interesting to the whole? Like, that's my issue with talking in a group, because I'm like, if I'm talking to one person, then I can tailor it to them because I know what to say to that person. But if it's like a group, like, what do you say that's interesting to the whole group, and who do you speak to? Like, who do you address your speech to?
I don't know how often I address, how often I speak to groups. I suppose. What do you mean?
Because if we were just sitting here like this, I would probably not normally speak.
Do you mean just like a casual conversation between friends, or do you mean
Anyone,
like,
just a group. Because I'd be like, oh, well, I'm not speaking to like, my brain needs to know like who I'm speaking to and like what they're thinking.
Well, you're never gonna know what they're thinking, so give that up.
Give that up.
That it's very context dependent, like who you're with. If I was with a group of people I didn't really know about, well, I would probably not say anything very interesting. I'd just keep it really general. Be like, it's hot, innit?
So you just like have a general conversation,
Yeah,
like keep the topics broad.
yeah. I don't like small talk. So
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't really say.
I think part of the problem is like, we've learned with this podcast, it's actually quite difficult to be funny.
Yeah.
And you've got to back yourself when telling a joke that you're going to be
Well,
laughed
so
at.
I mean, like, there's kind of pressure if it's a group of people,
Mhm.
because then it's like you're kind of performing in a weird way.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, but interestingly enough, I'm treating this conversation quite seriously because you're asking the question.
mhm.
If it was Jordan
Mhm.
or Tristan,
Mhm.
I'd be ripping the crap out of you.
Yeah.
But instead, because
You're
I
being
know
nice.
your character and you're genuinely interested in this, and you would gain more out of this conversation through wise words rather than making fun of you.
You came to the wrong people then.
Not
If you want,
not
if you
that
want
Jordan
wise
would
words.
enjoy being made more fun of than learning, but maybe you would. But that would be my natural go-to. So I think it depends on the context is so key.
Yeah.
And it's like the nuances of understanding the person you're speaking to. But I think if you back yourself confidently,
Mhm.
then you're normally going to be safe. And it helps within, like, if you have an authority within the group.
Mhm.
So even in this circumstance, I'm talking a lot ultimately because I'm the one that leads the team.
Yeah.
So like I have like an ingrained authority to have a voice in the group.
Mhm.
Whereas if I didn't, it would be different. Now I'm quite confident in a group and would talk more often anyway, because I'm not too concerned that I'm going to make a fool of myself. But I also know that there are times I've been in conversations with people where I like tried to be funny and it's not worked, and then I'm like,
So you like adjust as you go.
yes.
Yeah.
And then, but there's
You
also
read the
times
room.
when you're in the when you're in the conversation and you've been funny, and then you're like, right,
Confident.
I'm confident, but now I've got to be careful because I've been funny and I've got to either
Now there's
keep
an
up the funniness.
expectation.
Yeah, I've got to keep up the funniness. And
Yeah.
if I drop some dead jokes
Yeah.
here, that it's going to end up poor
Yeah.
at the end.
It's a lot of pressure.
There's a lot of pressure. I do overthink these things as well.
It is really noticeable for me as well. Like if I'm at a party and the first joke's landed, how much more I enjoy the rest of the night. I'm like so much more confident, flying into the jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then
yeah.
if you go in and your first joke doesn't land, on my way home.
You're like, right. Hi everyone. Right. See you later.
I tend to only speak to I most of my conversations with people I know pretty well. Anyway, like if I'm at a party or something, and I will I kind of avoid the people I don't know that well because of the reasons I think you probably covered. Like you don't know where you stand, and it's just easier. Like if it's people I know and I don't really care, like yeah, it's a relaxation thing. Like if you care how you're coming across or not, which I generally do more with people I don't know than people I do know.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
Does
Yeah.
that answer your question? Kind of.
Yes. Kind of.
Last one.
Last one. Okay, I have to pick one.
We'll do another season if
okay.
this goes well.
Okay. Eye contact. How do you look at somebody in the eye when they're talking? Or like if you're talking, like 'cause
I'm
obviously you
overthinking
don't just
looking.
keep looking at someone in the eye. You're like yeah, now I'm thinking about it too.
Yeah.
Like how much do you like look away when you're speaking? Or do you look at them when they're speaking?
I've noticed that if you think about eye contact when you're speaking to someone, you start looking away. Like it starts feeling awkward.
It
Yeah,
starts
because
freaking
I
out.
get that
Yeah.
sometimes. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know if I'm looking at them too much now.
Yeah. But
Or
like,
not enough, and then it's rude because it looks like I'm not interested.
But I think if you don't think about it, generally you are just looking at them in the eyes the whole time. So I think it's normal to.
Like right now, you're like looking over there,
Yeah.
but then
we're thinking
occasionally you're
about it.
looking
Yeah.
back.
I'm not. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to watch the last 10 minutes and see where we're all
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is one that I'm like, normally I'm fine, and then suddenly I start thinking about it. I'm like, am I looking at someone
Yeah, I
too
think-
much or
yeah,
not
yeah,
enough?
yeah,
Like, yeah.
I don't like. Yeah, I think I'm quite bad with eye contact.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, like my thing is always like when I'm walking down the street or if I'm in the car and someone's next to me, I never really turn my head to look at them. Like I'll just look straight ahead, but they'll like look at me and I'm like, why are you looking at me? Like this is weird. Like I find that weird but then if I'm watching like a movie or something, they're always looking at each other and I'm like, I never do that.
You can't look at a movie though,
I know,
because
but
the whole thing's very
yeah.
staged, and they're not even driving. So
yeah, that's true.
It's like, look at the road.
They're
I
constantly
think I would occasionally like turn my head to the passenger seat while I'm driving if I'm speaking to someone, like to make eye contact.
Yeah, but it would be
Occasionally.
occasional, yeah.
Yeah, but because you're driving. I'm the same with like walking. Like it's like you're walking, you're looking where you're going,
Yeah.
but occasionally you're like,
And the intensity of the conversation
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
as well is like, if it's just casual chat, you're probably just, you're not looking, you're
Yeah.
looking at your feet, looking away. Like, whereas if it's like, we need to sort, do you know what I mean? Like, whatever the
I've
thing is.
noticed like on a Tuesday when I pick up my pal Liam for football, he'll get in the car and then like 20 minutes into the journey, I'll look and I'll be like, oh, you look different. Like I'll notice something about him
'Cause you
that's
haven't
different.
looked at
Like
him
maybe
yet.
he's had a haircut or something. I've
Yeah.
just realised that I've not looked at him the entire time.
I thought you were going to say, you look at him and he's just been staring at you the whole time.
You look at him as not your friend.
Yeah, like, Liam? You're not Liam.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That's
I don't always do it.
Does that answer your question? Not really.
Yes.
Kinda.
I have another really random one.
Okay. Bonus
that I was
question.
thinking the other day, well, a while ago, because I was thinking I need to buy a chair,
Okay.
and then in my head I was like, hang on a second, how do you buy a chair? Like, do you go? You know how there's like chairs in a store, right? Do you like? I've never seen anyone like pick up a chair and take it to the counter. So I'm like, what? How does that work? Like, do
Order
you
online,
tell
yeah.
the store person?
Just order it
Yeah,
online.
Aalyn, what we're learning is you shouldn't engage with anyone and you should just do everything
But this is
on
what
a
happened
computer.
for a chair because I'm like, I don't know what to do.
You
I don't
got
know if I go into the store and I tell the person like I would like to buy this chair.
Just stand next to it and point at it.
Sit in it. They're not like once it's been more than 10 minutes, someone will come over to you.
Right.
And ask
I've
if you're
claimed
alright.
this
Yeah.
chair now.
And then you know, like throne bearers, like
They
they'll
pick
they'll,
you
like
up.
pick
They
you
pick
up
up.
and carry you all the way home.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, there's four men come out, or women,
If you just stand next to it and
pick up the
point
chair.
at it, then someone will come over and ask if you're alright.
So how do you take it out of the store? Do they deliver it to your house?
I think
How big is the
that's
chair?
probably down.
I've never seen anyone like an armchair, like this chair.
Well, how did that chair get here, Aalyn?
I don't know.
Flat pack.
I think I might
Oh, you
have.
ordered it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the episode of Friends where Ross gets the sofa?
Oh yeah.
You know, he's got the option to get it delivered or not. So I think probably I've never bought a chair either, but I'm guessing they probably have the option home delivery or are you going to take it now?
And it would probably come flat packed, right?
I think
depends
even
on
if,
the chair.
yeah, I think even if you were picking it up from the store, it would come flat packed, unless you were buying like at Next. Sometimes you're buying like the show piece because it's like
Yeah.
reduced to clear. That's the chair you're getting, and it's already built. So you're either taking the legs off to get it in your car on the way out, but it's
So
probably
you do just carry it out.
you probably just carry it out,
That's-
especially if it's reduced.
Because I've never seen anyone just carrying a chair out of
It
a
is
store.
interesting though. I don't.
But there's always loads of them, and I'm like, what
Loads of
happens
chairs or
to
pe-
these? Yeah, like if you go into like a furniture store or something, or like if you go into like I don't know TK Maxx or something, and there's loads of chairs in the
Well,
middle.
my friend bought a discounted bed from Next, and we had to carry the whole bed fully
Right.
made out of the Next store.
Wow.
Is it in furniture
sense.
shops? Is it not like things with like a code on it, and then you go to the desk and you're like,
Not
oh, I
IKEA.
want this one.
Probably a proper furniture shop. But I mean like TK Maxx, like cheap ones.
Well, then do you
Oh,
just go
TK Maxx, you're taking the chair with you. That's
To the counter.
you are just taking that chair.
to the
Yeah.
counter,
Oh, I.
or are you going to the counter and
Well-
being like, I want that chair?
It depends how big the chair is, I guess. Like if it was this sofa and you were by yourself, I think you would find someone and be like, I want this one, and then they would probably
then
help
what
people.
happens?
They would probably help you carry it to your
Right,
car, and then you would be like, well, then you'd probably ring me
Yeah,
or your dad. Like, what am I doing with this chair? Well, I hope that's helped.
that is very helpful.
And I hope it was a good observation for all of our watchers when Aalyn asks, they answer. Join us again for the next Discussing Nothing. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Bye.
Aalyn hasn't learned how to say bye after all of that.
I'm like, how do I say goodbye?